Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. So IMTS 2026, it's right around the corner. It's fast approaching, and Abby and I will be attending this trade show this year, and we're really excited about it. This will be our second IMTS that we'll have attended, and we're really looking forward to it. It is such a cool trade show to go to. All of the latest and greatest in machine tools, cutting tools, work holding, tool holding, and everything that you can't even imagine is going to be at this trade show. It really is a great place to go and have some fun and look at cool things, look at cool machines. But not only that, it's a great place to catch up with people that you really don't ever get to see until you go to an event like this. So we're going to be having 3 different meet and greets planned for this IMTS. We have a few of our partners that we're working with, that we are collaborating with, and we're going to be announcing those meet and greets. Now, let me just say that as of filming this video, I don't have all of the exact specifications on time when these meet and greets are going to be, but I should be able to have this info on the screen for you at the time of filming this, or time of editing, should I say. We're also going to have this info in the video description, so it's on screen. Look down below, it's going to be in there. We're also going to have it on our website, abomb79.com, so you can go there and check it out. We'll have all the information there for everybody to see. So we encourage you to come to the show. It's such a great place to come and visit, and we're certainly excited to go this year as well. So as I said, we have a few collaborations this year. So to start this video off, we're going to go ahead and walk through those collaborations and let you know who we're working with and what's going to be happening at these meet and greets there. And then we're going to get on to a project. I actually have 2 IMTS related machining projects that we're getting ready to start on after this video here, and we're going to start cutting some chips, and we'll talk about that after we get this intro done. Okay, so the first meet and greet is going to be at the Milltronics booth. All right, information should be on the screen. If not, look in the video description. All right, Milltronics, they're going to have a VM 3018 set up at the show. It's the same exact machine that you've seen me use, same machine that I machine these drill indexes on. And they're actually going to be machining my drill index as a demo sample at the show. So I don't know how many they're going to be cutting, and this may not be something that they're going to be running all day long every day, but they are going to be setting up, running this as a demo project at the show. I believe they're even going to have a robot set up there on display as well, hooked to the machine, where it's going to be installing work pieces and removing them from the VM. So that's going to be pretty cool to see. So if you want to see the drill index being machined, you got to stop by the Milltronics booth when you're at IMTS. And if it's not during the meet and greet, go by and see them anyway and say, hey, I want to check out the drill index. Can you show it to me? And hopefully they'll be able to have the VM fired up for you and show you it being machined. Now, in addition to running this as a sample, Milltronics is going to be giving away 5 of our blue drill indexes with the drills. This is probably going to be one that they draw every day. I really don't know the exact specs on what they've decided to do with that, but they are going to be giving away 5 of these drill indexes. So you got to go by the booth and enter your chance to win one of our drill indexes there at Milltronics. And I hope you come by and visit us. Whenever we went to the last IMTS that we attended, we had a meet and greet there at Milltronics, and it was fantastic. We had quite a few people came by and visited and talked to us. I got to meet quite a few people from social media, YouTube, Instagram, that came by and visited and chatted with us, and we had a great time. So please come by Milltronics and pay us a visit, and let's talk some shop. All right, so we hope to see you there. And we're going to be having 2 other meet and greets. So the second one that we're going to be doing is we're going to be at the Master Fluid Solutions booth. Again, I should have info on the screen for you or in the video description, so check that out. And the Master Fluids booth, I talked with them, and I was trying to come up with something cool that I could machine and provide as giveaways there at their booth. And the item that I came up with is a drink coaster. And why a drink coaster? I'm not sure. It's just more of a simple thing that we can make. It doesn't really require a whole lot. And I've even got the material here that we're going to be setting up in our TMX vices here. And this is what the main subject of today's video is going to be is getting the coasters machined. So I'm going to be making a stack of these guys and sending them up to Master Fluid Solutions. They're going to have these in their booth and they're going to be giveaways. Now it's going to be limited quantity, so there's not going to be one for everybody that goes to the show, but you're going to have to go by the Master Fluid Solution booth in order to get one of your coasters. And by the end of this video, hopefully you're going to see what these guys are going to look like. And this is a pretty fun project that I come up with that we can make. You know, something that's relatively simple to machine, but something cool enough that you wouldn't mind having yourself, that you could put on your desk or your coffee table or wherever, and have something that we machined right here in our shop. So we're going to get started on this very soon. The third collaboration and meet and greet that we're going to be having is with Kaiser Compressors. And again, I'll have that info on the screen for you so you'll know the date and the time for that meet and greet. And we're going to be having another project that we're going to be machining in our TMX vices to go along for that trade show, for that meet and greet as well. And that project I'm still working on. We're not quite there yet, but I'm going to have a follow-up video talking about the project that we're going to be doing for Kaiser. So for the Kaiser compressor meet and greet, I'm going to have some aluminum bottle openers that we'll have there that we're going to be machining right here on these two vices in our Milltronics CNC mill. And we're going to have a limited quantity of them. But if you come by Kaiser Compressors during the meet and greet, and we have them, you can have you a bottle opener. And I'm excited about that. You know, we'll have our logo machined on there, and it's something that I think is going to be a fun little widget to have, you know, having your toolbox or having your garage or whatever that we machined right here in the shop. And it's very possible that these two projects that we're talking about, our coasters and our bottle opener, might end up being something that we can have on our website and available to everybody. And we're going to explore that option once we get through this rush of trying to get things ready for IMTS and getting them machined for the trade show. So we are going to follow up on both of these because my goal is to hopefully have these available to anybody that might want to purchase one down the road. Okay, so with saying all that, we're looking forward to the trade show, and we hope that we get to meet a bunch of you guys and you come up and chat with us and get to meet you and shake your hand. And again, it's a fun trade show to attend. We're excited to go. We're going to be making a road trip out of it. So Abby and I, we're actually going to be driving up the week before. We're going to try to get some adventures out of it too. So we're going to be stopping in a couple places and doing some sightseeing and stuff like that on our way up to Chicago for the trade show. So I think we're going to go ahead and get started on our project. I want to kind of talk about what it is that we're going to be doing. We got our two TMX vices here that we're going to be using. So let's get you in a little closer and show you what we're going to be working on in today's video, okay? So you guys might remember these TMX double station vices I got, I believe it was late last year. I had picked these up with the intentions of using them in the TRM 3016 to run our drill indexes, only to find out that I didn't do a good job of measuring the overall length, especially with these chip guards sticking out. And I wasn't able to run those, and I went a different direction with a different vice system, and these have been patiently waiting for other production parts that I want to get to. We're going to put them to work today. And you can see that over here on the left side vice, we have Mighty Bite jaws and grippers installed, and over here on the right side vice, these are going to be soft jaws that we've got installed. So what we've got is op 1 and op 2, and what I wanted to do was run 4 parts per vice. So we're going to have 4 installed for op 1, and then these will get flipped upside down over here into the soft jaws for op 2 to finish this out. I'm going to try to speed things up as efficiently as I can as I get moving on this project and get tool paths configured properly and adjusted properly to just kind of maximize our efficiency on this project here. So back to this vise over here. I was going to mention our Mighty Bite jaws. So these particular jaws right here, this is one of the boxes they came in. These are part number 32088, and I've used these before, but we got some more to go with this vise right here. And these were actually the scratch and dent. A little side note, you guys ever looking for some Mighty Bite products, if you give them a call, they have some of their stuff on sale at Scratch and Dent, and you might be able to pick some of this stuff up at a discount, as we've done in the past there as well. All right, so that's the jaws, and then the grippers that we're going to be using today is the part number 33075, and these are the 3/4 inch wide grippers that are designed to hold with a maximum stick out of 120 thousandths, but can go down as far as a 60 thousandths. So what I have done is I actually modified the 4 channels in these vices, and they're intended to be milled down exactly what I did. Mighty Bite told me that. They leave them a little bit shallow so that you, the user, can go ahead and mill those down another 40, 50 thousandths or whatever to get these grippers sticking up a 1/16 of an inch, and that's exactly what we got. I wanted to be able to use 1/2 inch stock to make this coaster that we're going to be machining, and finish it at 3/8 thick and give us plenty of material there to be able to hold it, be able to machine the top for op 1, and be able to go down past our 3/8 thickness, and then be able to flip this over and machine the hat off of it and finish the bottom side of it out. So we got these all modified and ready to go, and I'm just going to simulate what we're going to be doing. So we've got our aluminum, so 4x4 square, 1/2 inch thick, 6061 aluminum is the material. We do have the Mighty Bite stops installed in the center. I've just got them on both sets of jaws there. So we'll be able to slide these guys in, just like so. All right, and then we're going to tighten them up, and those grippers are going to hold well more than what we're going to need to do the machining on this. And op 1, we're going to machine the outside, bring it down. I believe we're going to finish around 3 7/8. I just tried to make everything a nominal, easy size, not just random numbers. So 3 7/8 square, there's going to be some radius on there, and then we're going to machine a pocket on the inside as well, about a 1/16 deep. We'll have a nice radius in there. And then I also want to put our logos inside this pocket as well. So since these are going to be for Master Fluid Solutions, we're going to have this co-branded with Master Fluid Solutions and our A-Bomb 79 logo in there. And then that'll be it for the top. When we get set up, we're going to start with our soft jaws. We're going to machine these guys first, but it's going to be very similar to my drilling deck. So there's going to be a pocket milled where we can take these out, and they will sit right down in this pocket, self-center up as we tighten it up. And on the second op, it's going to be really simple. We're going to be milling them off, get the hat off of it. We're going to be chamfering the corner of it. And then I'm going to put 4 counterbores in here the same way that I do our drill indexes and put the rubber feet. In fact, let me go grab that one and show you what I'm talking about. I just grabbed the purple because it was handy. I already put the blue one away. But on the bottom of our drill index here, I've got these rubber feet made by 3M, and I buy these from McMaster Car, and they work great. They really provide a, well, I don't really have a good surface to show you, but they provide really good stiction with the drill indexes. You can put it over on your workbench on a metal surface, and they're very hard to move. So these rubber feet have a lot of friction. And I thought, since this is a proven design that works for our drill indexes, why don't we just implement this over onto our coasters so that they're not sitting flat on the bottom surface there on your desk or your table or whatever, and you have a non-marring surface there that can sit down on your table. So that's the plan for the bottom of the coasters there. And I think that's it. I am ready to get these guys set up. I've been really excited to actually see these get in operation here and get moving and see how they're going to look. I'm going to be playing with feeds and speeds and try to get good finishes on here. And I got to get some depth set for our engraving and that kind of stuff. So I'm ready to move over to the machine and start getting our vices set up. I'll show you a little bit of that. And I also want to show you some of the programming over on Fusion on what this is going to look like once we get started on it, okay? Okay, first step, we're going to go ahead and remove our Toolex vices and get them off the mill. We'll go ahead and get the table nice and clean, and then we'll install our 2 TMX vices on there. Got the first vice ready to come off. So this one's been on here for quite a while, and I want to see what the bottom of this is going to look like. I always coat all of our vices or any kind of work holding fixture with SP350 and the table before we mount them. So let's see what we got here. It's going to be a few chips underneath it. That's looking good. That's looking good. We don't have any kind of corrosion on our table right there. It looks like there's a little bit built up. This is raw cast iron on the bottom, and you can see you got a little bit on the bottom, so we'll clean that off whenever we get them over here on the cart. Our fixture of table still looks beautiful. This is what we put on everything, our SP350. The other day I made a modification to our TMX vices, and the fixed jaw in the center, I went ahead and drilled and tapped them to accept a half 13 eye bolt. And that is just simply so that we can grab this thing with a strap and our overhead jib crane and be able to pick these guys up and fly them where we want to. In this case, we're going to pick them up and we're going to fly them over into the VM 3018. These things are heavy, and they're quite a lot heavier than your standard 6-inch milling vise. Worked out good. I want to make sure the bottom of these guys are nice and clean. All right, I need you guys to just hang out right here for a minute. Let me get our SP350 and go ahead and spray the table down. Now I'm going to reach underneath here and give a little on the bottom of the vise too. I got my fan on, so it's trying to blow it away a little bit. Nice and easy does it. Working on the right side vise, getting it trimmed. I think I got it there. One or two tenths. Call that good. We've got our soft jaw vise trimmed in where it needs to go, so I'm going to use our Starrett 706 setup blocks. These are precision ground, and they're just as nice as a gauge block. You can ring gauge blocks to these guys. They're so nice. So I'm going to put these in there on the 3-inch long side. In our modeling and fusion, we've got our spacing in here set at exactly 3 inches. And it's nice being able to, whenever you set your gap in there to come in here, do your pocketing, if you can set it to like a standard size, like this guy right here, either 2 inch or 3 inch. And in other cases, I've got my gauge blocks that I use. So we're just gonna put those in there. Actually, let's pull these up over here to this side. You'll see the rear jaw snug first, and then the front jaw will move forward. And just snug them up, and that's it. That vise is completed, and I need to get the left side vise trammed in next. All right, we've been tramming in the left side vise. It was at about 1/1000. Tapped it a few times, and it also looks like it's within maybe 1 to 2/10. So we're gonna lock it in right there. Here's a couple of the cutters that I need to get installed and touched off. This guy right here is what's gonna be machining the soft jaw. So this is a 3-flute helical end mill, uncoated. That one is 03450. I've been using this end mill for a lot of different jobs. You've seen it many times. And then this is also a helical. This is a 3-flute chamfer mill, 90-degree included angle. And that is this guy right here, 59822. It's got a 80 thousandths diameter flat on the tip of it right there, but this is my backup, just showing you what this guy looks like. I'm going to be installing this because this cutter right here is what we're going to be using for the majority of the chamfering whenever we're machining our coasters. So I'm going to go ahead and get it loaded up. So we're going to make this one tool 23, and then this one's going to be tool 24. Tool 23 pocket called up. Here's our chamfer mill, tool 24. I have to get the work offset correctly for the vise. I forgot to mention that earlier, but this jaw here, we're going to be using that corner for our work offset for our soft jaw machining. Now that we got the corner probed, we'll probe the top of it for our Z0 on G54. All right, guys, I got you at my desk here, and this is your first look at our coaster in Fusion, and thought we would go ahead and go over our setups for Op 1, Op 2, and then of course our soft jaws, which we're going to be machining first. But this is the general look of the coaster right here. And we just tried to make it really simple, you know, just try to make it really simple using some standard aluminum stock that we could get right off the shelf from Alro, 4-inch wide stock. And we're going to be just machining these nice large radiuses on the corner. All right, we're going to be putting some nice chamfers there on the edge, kind of break that, give that a nice look. And then you can see in the middle here, we've got it counterbored. And we're going to be using a bull nose end mill for that. That'll put a nice 60 thou radius in the corner right there. And you can see we've got a nice chamfer up on that top side too. So really this is just designed to just kind of look pretty nice. All right. And then if we flip this guy over to the bottom side of it, let's see if we can get this squared up. Click the wrong one. There we go. All right, so there's the bottom of it. Once we get to the bottom, it's going to be pretty quick and easy. We're going to use a 2-inch face mill and mill the hat off the bottom, make a finish cut on there, and then we're going to mill these 4 pockets, and that's for those 4 rubber feet that guy was talking about earlier. And then we'll of course break those. We'll come in here and we'll chamfer this edge right here as well, get rid of those sharp edges. All right, so that's what it's going to look like. Now something else that I'll show you is, let me go over here to my sketches and I'm going to turn them on. All right, there's our logos that we're going to be engraving in the pocket inside the coaster here. So bring us up to the top, and so we're going to have Master Fluid Solutions logo machined in there, and of course we've got our A-Bomb 79 logo. And then on these guys, I'm going to go ahead and engrave IMTS 2026 there as well. That just kind of help commemorate, you know, what these are made for, when they were made, and hopefully this will just be something fun that, you know, people will enjoy having on their desk or their toolbox or whatever. All right, so that's what the part is going to look like. Now, what I'm going to do is go ahead over here. I'm going to turn on our TMX vise. Boom, there we go. All right. Now, I want to start off by giving a big thanks to my buddy Kevin over at mechanicaladvantage.com. He has helped me with this project. He's helped me with many projects, and every time we jump into something, it's always something fresh for me to learn. And he has helped me with the modeling here. He has helped me import the TMX model here. This is the exact vise that I got from TMX. This is the model that I got from TMX. So big thanks to them for sending this over, that we could put in here in Fusion and use this. And we also have our Mighty Bite jaws in here. So these are 3D models that are available over on the Mighty Bite website there as well. And we grabbed those and put them on here, and even the grippers. We got our Talon grips in here. We got our T-stops in here, and we have it configured exactly like you're gonna see it, like you already saw it out there on the bench. It's configured exactly the same. So that is pretty cool. I absolutely love seeing this right here. And I haven't got to use these work holding models very much at all. So now that Kevin has helped me build this TMX model here, this is in Fusion. This is something that I can use going forward, that we've already put the hard work into building this right here. And we've got a model that's got the stock hard jaws on there. We have this one with our Mighty Bite jaws, and then we're going to have a third one with our soft jaws on there. You'll see that in just a second. Now, I did want to point out that the reason why it looks like it's floating in there is because it's not showing the stock, but that's actually where your part is going to be sitting, in these jaws right there. It's just right now it thinks it's holding the stock. And something else that I thought was pretty cool, in my mind, I'm trying to get all of these distances and everything set right, you know, and I talked about this right here, that I machined these slots a little bit deeper so that we could sink these Talon grips down into the slot a little bit further, so that we would have a 1/16 stick up here. And the bottom of our workpiece represents the bottom once it's finished, okay? But I love this inspect feature on here. So if we want to measure what that is, we can grab this inspect, roll this around. I'm going to snap the bottom of our part, roll it back around, and we're going to snap the top of the parallel edge that we're sitting on. And then that gives us a distance. But if you look right over here, 105 thousandths. So once we're set up for op 1, we're going to be taking it down from this surface down 395 thousandths, and then that'll leave enough for the bottom hat there to clean it up. And the other thing that we can check while we're in here is the gap that I was hoping to get on our Talon grips here. So do the same thing. We can touch the top of our Talon grip and then the top of the parallel edge right there, and then it's going to give us a distance right here, 63 thousandths. So that's exactly what I wanted, was a 1/16 stick up on our Talon grips right there. Perfect. All right. So all I got to do now is to finish this out so it looks a little bit more proper, is we can go ahead and unhide our other 3 models. And then that is what it'll look like once we're machining it, and of course once it's finished there too. So we're going to be machining 4 of these at a time, and we'll have the program, once we get running on this, we'll be able to run 4 top. And then we're going to have over here next to it, we'll have the other vise next to it, and it'll finish the bottom. So my goal is every time I open the door, I pull 4 out that's finished on this side, and then we install 4 more work pieces over here on this side. And of course, these will get flipped upside down over onto the right side vise. All right. So now we'll go ahead and we're going to activate setup 2, and that's that guy right there. All right. So there's a look. So this is what I was saying. this model we now have built in My Fusion, so this is something that we can reference going forward there with our soft jaws already installed. All right, and then if we go ahead and hide, let's see, it's that model right there. You can see all of the pockets that we're going to be machining in there. And I've got these machined. I wanted to do it just like I did the drill indexes, so that it's self-centering. So once you flip these coasters upside down in there, the radius of the pockets there are going to just make it, you know, pull right exactly to the center every time. All right, so that is what our Op2 is going to look like. But what we want to do first is go ahead and machine these pockets. So we're going to come down here to, let me go ahead and bring this up, and we want to go to, where's our setup 3? Right here. All right, soft jaws for Op2. We're going to go ahead and simulate this, and the blue is just going to be air. There's nothing there. Okay, this is it thinks that this is a solid block of material the way this is modeled, but we'll go ahead and we'll hit play on it. This is that 1/2 inch helical end mill, 3 flute, and we're going to be using an adaptive tool path to start it. We'll speed this up a little bit. It's going to rough out. So we're going to be doing this side, and once it's finished with this side, it's going to jump over here, and it's just going to machine the other side. But for our simulation, it's only going to show one side. All right, we're going to follow that up with a contour pass to clean it up, and then we've got a 1/4 inch chamfer mill that's going to come and break all those edges there, get rid of the sharp edge. And then that'll be it. Once it's done chamfering, that should be finished. None of that blue is going to be in there. It'll look just like this right here. All right, so that's it. Let's go ahead and see if we can get these jaws machined. I've been doing some testing off camera, and I think our program looks good. I think we're ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and fire it up, adjust our coordinates, and see if we can make some chips and get these soft jaws machined. Here's our contour pass. This will just clean them up. Forget what I said about the coolant. It's going to get on your camera anyway. Just going in with our 1/4 inch chamfer mill, breaking both the top and the bottom edges of the soft jaws. That looks good. I think we had a successful run there. Get our tool up and out of the way. I think our finishes look beautiful. Got a nice feel to it, nice and soft. Everything looks right on how the program was designed. Real happy with that. That looks good. Only thing I noticed difference is I didn't have the soft jaws bolted directly in line end to end. I heard it when it did it. It's cut a little heavy chamfer on that side there because you had a little bit of slack in that hole. I didn't think about it whenever I tightened them up, but no big deal. We're just cutting aluminum. I don't have parts to fit in there yet, but I know that they're gonna fit. So this part of it's done. Now we're gonna go ahead and switch our gears over to operation 1, which is gonna be this left side vise using the Talon grips and our stock. All right, guys, I have been making some progress on our coasters. I've already been running some, and that's normally what I have to do whenever I create a program and come out here to the CNC is I need to get it in there, spend a little time with it. Usually you have to do some adjustments on feeds and speeds and some other things and make sure you get things running right the way you want to until you get happy with the part that you're cutting. And then from there, the race is on, and then you're just loading and unloading parts. So right now we've got the top of the coasters proven. Now I need to start working on the bottom, which is what I'm going to do next. I wanted to get some of the top ones done, get the feeds and speeds correct, and now we're at a good place that I can focus on the bottom up too. And then once I get that proven, then we can run the complete program where it does the top and the bottom, and every time we open the doors we have 4 completed coasters. So I'm going to catch you up where I'm at. I'm going to show you what we have going on. I wanted to show you the fusion program, and then I want to give you a shot of, one cycle machining on the top, okay? So let's just jump on in here and I'll show you where we are. Here's a few of them that we have completed. I'm real happy with them. I think they're turning out nice. And keep in mind that whenever you machine raw aluminum like this, the light oftentimes really will blow it out and make it look a little rough. You can really kind of see the tool marks in them. But whenever you see them with your own eyes in person, I think they look really good. And I will mention that we are not planning on having these anodized. We're going to be giving these out just like you see, raw aluminum, straight out of the machine. So here's our setup. I just completed these 4 right here. I wanted to go at the previous 4, I made one more adjustment on it, and I wanted to run 4 more to see if that was going to give me what I want, and I am happy with this right here. I'm really happy with this. So we're going to start focusing on Op 2 over here in our soft jaws. But what do you think? I think they look good, and I think they're just going to be something fun that you can hand out at the trade show and something fun for people to have on their desk. All right. So I wanted to point out, I wanted to show you a couple of my fails, and this is part of my learning experience right here. So if we turn you around, I have 2 right here that are identical, and you might notice there is a channel machined all the way around this guy right here on both of them. And that's because I made a mistake in the editing. I'm sorry, when you come in here and you edit your program in the text editor, I wanted to change the flood coolant for the tongue force rec end mill, 3/4 inch, from flood coolant over to CTS or through tool coolant. And when I came in here to the program and made an edit, I actually did that on the wrong line. It was just a simple mistake. I know that I needed to go to that tool and change the M8 code to M63, I believe. I gotta check my notes. Yeah, M63. M64 is where it shuts it off. I accidentally changed an M6 tool change code to the CTS, and so once it got to where it was supposed to change to that tool, it actually kept the existing tool in there and came down and started cutting around like that, which should have been just a 3/4 mil that just decks the very top of the coaster off. This just one path all the way around it, and then it comes up and it's done. But that end mill that machines the pocket actually came down and cut that, and then it got to these two right here, and I stopped the program at that point. And then it took me a little while to figure it out. I mean, it probably set me back a couple hours because I could not figure out why the machine was using the wrong tool. And then I finally figured it out. I was able to talk to my buddy Steve at Milltronics, and he went through the program with me, and I told him what I did. He goes, "Oh, I think I know what's going on here." And he was right. He goes, "I think you changed the line." And it was just a very simple, dumb mistake that I made. But, you know, every day that we're out here working in this shop, we're always learning something. And that goes for me. I'm always learning and improving. All right, so I'm ready to keep going on this right here and keep these guys going, but I want to show you what the fusion file is going to look like. So let's jump in there at the computer, go through that, and then we're going to see some chips being made, okay? Let's give you a rundown of our cam and talk about our tool paths and all that good stuff. So this is what it's looking like in the machine. Now I do have the other coasters turned off here, and that's because the simulation isn't going to show machining all four of them. But just keep in mind that we have this ordered by tool. So once the machine is cutting one tool path, once it completes that tool path, it's going to jump to the next work offset. So we're going to start with G54, and then G55 will be here. G56 is in this back corner, and then G57 is right there. So it's just going to bounce to all four. It's going to do a tool change and then keep doing that, bouncing between the four work offsets. All right, so we're going to go ahead and simulate this and get moving on it. And so the first tool path we're going to be using is a 1/2 inch 3-flute helical end mill, flat end mill. So go ahead and start that. And this is going to be an 2D adaptive. It's not going to take much. It's going to rough that outside, and it's going to come back and trim these corners off. And then we're going to switch over to a 2D contour. We usually leave about 10 thousandths on the wall, 10 thousandths on the floor, and you can see the green. That indicates the finished stock there. So there's our 2D contour. Now we're coming back to a 2D adaptive, and we're using a 1/2 inch bullnose end mill with a 60 thou corner radius, and that is going to rough this inside out with this spiral pattern. And we left 10 thousandths in the floor, 10 thousandths on the wall to come back and do a 2D adaptive. And that's this right here. So we're going to take that last 10 thousandths out. Let's see if we can speed this up just a little bit. All right, and then now, let me slow this down. This is going to be chamfering. I'm sorry. Let me pause that. I misspoke there. Let me see if we can go back one. This here is that 3/4 inch tongue force rec end mill that we're using, and it's just decking the top off. We're taking about 10 thousandths off of the top there, so I'll replay that. And you can see the blue, it's leaving just a little bit, but our chamfer is going to clean that up. So one path around with our tongue force rec. Now we're coming in with a 1/2 inch chamfer mill. This is a 3-flute chamfer mill from Helical. This will help me get this job done a little faster than my standard 2-flute that I'm normally using. It's going to do the outside, then it's going to jump to this inside, and that blue stock that's still on there, it's going to be cutting that off, and it'll leave everything nice and clean the way we want. All right, so once it's through with the chamfering, and that's when our trace, we're going to use a 90-degree engraving tool, and it'll engrave the Master Fluid Solutions logo. It's gonna engrave our A-Bomb 79 logo, and then this little box right here is something that added that says IMTS 2026 to commemorate the when this was made and what it was for. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to the next thing, which is going to be the change that I made that I really like is that, so when you engrave this, usually rolls up a slight bit of a burr that you can feel your fingers. It's not a big deal, but what I decided to do was come back with a copy of our 2D pocket finish, and it's going to come down. I've got it set to a 1/2 thousandths above this floor here, and it's going to come back and just repeat that last cut, and it's just going to take those burrs off. So I'm going to fast forward to that. I think we're actually done. There we go. All right, so we're just going to come back in and cut the top again, but it's only going to be cutting the burrs off of this engraving here. It's not going to be touching the floor. And that is one of the things that I was kind of fighting out there yesterday, was trying to decide how I wanted to finish that. And ultimately I landed on this right here, where it just, the cutter's a 1/2 inch above the last finish that I made on the floor. And there we have it. There's the finish of operation 1, and it's going to do that times 4. And so let's get out there and actually see some chip making on these guys. All right, so now we're on the G55. This is a 2D contour. You can see how quick it goes through it. One path around, it trims the corners, and it comes back and does the contour to finish it up. So most of the machining goes actually pretty quickly. The longest part of this whole operation is the engraving, and that's something that I'm going to be working on with this job as well. I got something new to try, but I wanted to get through a few of these parts, get it proven, and then possibly set up another tool for the engraving to kind of speed up that process. So I'm going to sit back and let this guy do its job. Isn't that cool? I absolutely love that spiral pattern and pocketing out the center of the coaster there. It's making the finish pass in the floor now, and then it'll shoot over to the other one and do it. about that through tool coolant action. Now we're on to the chamfers, 1/2 inch 3 flute chamfer mill. We get the outside, jump the inside, and then last up will be the engraving. So what I'm running is, this is a Harvey tool, 1/4 inch diameter, single flute, 90 degree included angled, comes to a point. And the formula that I landed on was 5,000 feet for the engraving. Harvey has this tool listed a maximum of 10,000, and I do have it set for their maximum chip per tooth, which I believe was, if I remember correctly now, because I'm not looking at it, was 1,006 was the maximum. And that's what I have it set at, with the hopes that it didn't snap the tip off during the engraving. But I use that same exact tool for our drill indexes, and it's done so much engraving that I went ahead and just installed a brand new one with a fresh tip on there, and it's been working great. So what I would like to do, if we might get to this, I don't know, I'm going to try to. I have a speeder unit that I haven't installed yet that'll speed up the engraving. It's a speeder unit that you put into the spindle there, and it uses the through spindle coolant to drive the tool, increasing the RPM. So we should be able to effectively at least double the RPM. I'm running 10,000 RPM on this. That's the maximum speed for my VM. And with that speeder unit, it might be able to get us 20,000 RPM and be able to cut that cycle time in half. So that might be something that we play with. I don't know yet, but we might give it a try. So anyway, we're gonna just let this finish out. All right, we're near the end. We're just grabbing that bullnose end mill, and we're gonna just deck off that floor again and get rid of the burrs off of the engraving. Nice and consistent. I really like the way the engraving looks. I like the way the floor feels. You don't feel that burr. Just real happy with the outcome there. Looking really good. I'm gonna go ahead, since I got the camera set up, I've been getting used to this TMX style double station vise. It's a little bit different than the other one that I'm using, but we're gonna go ahead and swap these guys out. You have an extension that you have to put in there, and then you put whatever handle on that. So put the extension in. And the way that this vise works is that the front jaw will move a certain amount, and then the rear jaw will move a certain amount. And because we're only holding a little bit on these parallels, I have to be careful so they don't drop down in there. But we'll go ahead and loosen it. Just enough to get these guys out. I'm gonna pull these out and set them down. And then I'm gonna rotate the handle just enough to get the rear loose. All right, now the rear is loosening up. So we're gonna pull those out. Go ahead and knock the chips out of the way. They don't need to be perfectly clean. I just wanna make sure there's not a chip on the parallel portion that the stock is sitting on is all. All right, we'll grab 4 more pieces of stock. Start with the rear. Go ahead and get those in, and then push them to the middle. We got a stop there that they're pushed against. And then the front jaws, you'll see that it opens up just enough to where it's just barely catching. Sometimes it actually they'll drop down in there. But if I tighten it up there, it may catch the corner. So I'm just gonna leave those off for a second and go ahead and tighten this up just a little bit. And it moves this jaw forward enough to where we can now set those in there on the parallel without worrying about them getting caught on the edge. Push them to the middle. The bandsaw cuts are not very square. And go ahead and tighten them up. So it'll tighten up this, and then it's going to tighten up the rear jaw. There we have it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and run these 4, and I'm going to get cleaning on the other 2, and maybe whenever I finish these 4 here, I'm going to go ahead and start working on our Aught 2 soft jaw setup here.